Okay, we're going to take a look at currency exchange. So given then in currency exchange, what we're going to be given is we're going to be given a euro in terms of dollars, or in this case, a euro in terms of sterling. STG is our sterling. So just remember that, STG sterling. You'll also see it using the pound symbol. So just be aware of those two. The next thing to be aware of then is whatever they're giving you. In this case, find how much money, how much 300 is in dollars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my dollars. If €1 is $1.30, then I know that 300 is going to be larger than 300. So I'm looking for a number that's going to be slightly bigger than 300. Now, if you can spot straight away that you're multiplying 1.3 by 300, that's perfect. For anyone who kind of finds that a little bit trickier, we're going to use just a quick method of doing this question. So if you're unsure what you're doing, you always write out your exchange rate first that they've given you. And then you write out your 300, the one you want to change. And then you're going to put your arrow then towards X, because X is the one that we don't know. And what you're going to do here then is you are going to cross multiplying 300 by this and multiplying 1 by the X. And what you'll end up with there when you multiply that in, you come out with a little equation. 1 by X is 1X. Is equal to 130 by 300, so 1.30 by 300. I get my X, or 1X, which is just X, is equal to 390, and this is dollars, so I put my dollar symbol. And that's my question done there. So that's just a different way to do it if you can't spot straight away whether you're multiplying by 1.3. The other thing to note here is that you're either going to be multiplying by 1.3 or dividing by 1.3 if it's dollars. If we're talking about sterling, you're either going to be multiplying by 0.81 or dividing by 0.81. It's whatever one, it has to be one of those options. So either multiplying by it or dividing by it. If we take a look at this second question then, the second part of it, it says find €250 in sterling. How much is it in sterling? So again, if I'm using whatever method, I know that €250 is going to be a smaller amount in sterling. So I know my money is going to be smaller than 250. So I'm going to multiply 0.81 by 250. But again, if you're not fully sure of what way to go with that, we'll do out this sum. You put in your exchange rate first. I'm going to use the pound symbol. It's just easier and smaller to be writing. And then I put in that it's €250. And that's going to give me an unknown amount, and we'll call that X. So what I do from here is I'm cross multiplying this by this and this by this, so that when I get my answer is going to be 1 by X is 1X equals 0.81 by 250. I put that in the calculator and I get my X value to come out to be 202.50, and I write my money in front of it. So that's £202.50. So again, I know that that's right because I know that my 250 was going to come out to be smaller, and it did. So that's the first question there. We're going to take a look now at the next one, because it's not always going to be multiplying, so we have to be careful with that. So if I look at this question here then, I have, if a car costs 4,500 sterling, how much is that in euro? So I'm going to use the same sterling that we had earlier, unless you're told otherwise. So the one that I was told earlier was that €1 is, in sterling, it is 0.81, okay? And that's then what I'm going to use for this question. If a car costs £4,500, how much is that in euro? So in this case, the euro is my X value. I don't know that. And it gives me out 4,500. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just get rid of this bit here, just so it's not kind of catching us out. And I'll put in the pound symbol again. Okay. So again, I know that this value is going to go into euro, but it's going to become larger because this becomes larger going into euro. So I know my answer is going to be higher than 4,500. So I know if my answer is going to be higher than 4,500, I'm going to be dividing 4,500 by 0.81. But again, if you can't spot that, that's fine. You can use this method. So I have my currency exchange written out first. I then write X is the value I don't know, and I write my value I do know then underneath. So make sure that all the pounds go on one side and all the euros go on the other side. And I cross multiply again. So X by this and 1 by this. So my values come out to be there. X by 0.81, so that's just 0.81x equals 1 multiplied by 4,500. So that is going to be 0.81x equals 4,500. How do I get x on its own? I divide by 0.81 because they'll cancel out. If I do that on that side, I have to do it on the other side as well. So that when I get x, I put the 4,500 over 0.81 in my calculator, and I get 5,555 euro and 5 with a little dot on the top. So when I press my SD button, I see that it's 5555. So I round that to be 56 because 2 decimals is what we're working with when we're working in money. And that is my answer in euro. So there's my answer in euro there. And again, I know that's right because I can see that it is higher than the 4,500, and I know that my money increase is going from pound into euro.